Hello everyone, welcome back to the Highly Sensitive Healer YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being here as always. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel, like and share this video, turn on those notification bells. Cannot stress that enough. With all that said, done, and out of the way, I wanted to jump into today's video, which is going to be about 3 ways to stay balanced when you're in a toxic work environment or workplace. This is something that I'm personally dealing with and have been dealing with for some time now. So these 3 ways that I stay balanced within that toxic work environment are all based on my own experience. So I want you to know that going into this, there's no cookie cutter approach to this kind of stuff. And this is just what works for me. And I just want to share it with all of you. So number 1 is the most important, which is to set firm boundaries. I mean, very firm boundaries, and maintain those firm boundaries. And remember, practice makes permanent in this case. The more you practice, the more that you can role play with someone that's trusted, a friend, family member, other coworker, whatever have you. Practice and role play setting boundaries and maintaining those boundaries afterwards. I really can't stress that enough. That is hands down the most important step that's worked for me in my own experience with a toxic work environment. And when I say toxic work environment, I'm mostly referring to a narcissistic or toxic boss or manager. Maintenance is key. So not only role playing and setting those boundaries initially, once you get that down, and I'd start off small and work up to bigger boundaries. Maintenance is key. So maintaining those boundaries after you set them is of the utmost importance. So, and role play and practice the maintenance of those boundaries as well. It's just as important, if not more important, than even setting them in the first place. And number 2 is to learn how to say no. So this kind of goes hand in hand with boundary setting. And I would suggest, if you're a people pleaser type person, I know I am, I have that tendency, those characteristics, stop being a people pleaser. Learn how to say no when you need to say no. I'm not sitting here saying that I say no to everything, but I say no to things that I know that I don't want any part of within the workplace. And I say no because it's a boundary for me, and it's a healthy thing for me. If I always said yes to everything, which I have in the past, a couple years back, it didn't end well for me. I was miserable, and now I'm in this job. I'm not so miserable, even though it is a toxic work environment, and I do have a toxic narcissistic boss. And know that no means no. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. No means no. Plain and simple. And this is something that you can role play with trusted friend, family member, or a coworker, whatever have you. And I would also list some common questions asked by the toxic person, the toxic manager, that's common that you may have to say no to ahead of time. Just make a couple things, jot a couple things down that may come up or have come up in the past, and kind of role play and practice saying no and how you would say no to those specific questions asked by that toxic person. And number 3 is, remember, one of the keys to handling a narcissistic toxic person in any way, shape, and form. And that is to respond, don't react. I'm gonna say it again. Respond, don't react. Work your way up to this. Practice makes permanent. Remember that. Role play it if you have to. Be patient with yourself. You're learning. It's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of effort in learning how to respond and not react to that toxic narcissistic person, especially if you've been working there for years and you're so prone and programmed to react to them. Allow yourself that time self-compassion, kindness. Be kind to yourself in that process. I cannot stress that enough. And eventually work your way up from the respond, don't react, to what is known as observe, don't absorb. I hope this video helps all of you. I really, really do. Again, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel, like and share this video, turn on those notification bells. I cannot stress that enough. I'm gonna leave you guys with what I always leave you with, and that is, of course, be kind to others, but most of all, please be kind to yourselves. It's known as self-compassion. Take care, everybody.